Well, you're watching the live continuous coverage of the WPH Race for 8 here in Denver, Colorado. Home, your new home. You live in Boulder. How far away is Boulder? We're talking to Jake Plummer, by the way.
About 35 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad.
30 minutes, traffic depending. So there's a lot of places to play spread out from Boulder, north, south, and east of there. You can go to numerous places to play handball. So I live about a 5-minute bike ride from the outdoor 3-wall courts. So extra incentive to get healthy and get my body back in shape so I can start playing handball again. I really miss it. Well,
I noticed here in Colorado that as you are in Denver, you can just get on one main thoroughfare, and the streets, the signs that tell you, take this exit to go to Boulder, Grand Forks, Springs, and all the popular names, they're all on one highway. Like I go in Oregon, I could, Portland's this way, okay, we got Coos Bay down here.
The 25 gets you everywhere around here.
Yeah, you see every.
But you can go. You can go. They let you know where to go around here.
Yeah, well, they don't do that where I'm from.
Well, hey, you don't want to get lost on
where
some
I'm
of these
from. They're trying to get you out of town. But here, I was like, wow, I went to Golden, Colorado, which I'm sure you and your wife hung out there. It's
beautiful city.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
really.
That's
great
where
place.
the School of Mines, the School of Mines, there has a great handball team right now.
Right.
Gene Snyder's coaching. They got some good handball going there. Some young kids playing.
And and then the mountains are beautiful here, and I'm sure you love to go hunt, fish, hike, and do the things that you do. But you're also in a hot spot, a metropolitan area of great sports, and you love to play sports.
Oh yeah, big time. There's as far as getting to watch sports, you got the Nuggets, the Broncos, who went to a few games this year. They were phenomenal to watch, and you got basketball all along the Front Range is really nice right now. Colorado State, Colorado, the colleges, Air Force, they're all playing really good ball too. So yeah, it's nice. This is a nice place to live. There's a wicked snowstorm going on right now, but in a few days it'll be 60 degrees and sunny again. I'll be out on my bike riding around Boulder. So it's you got to just take what they give you here weather-wise and enjoy it.
And that's what we're doing here in Denver, Colorado, alongside Jake Plummer, who is the former NFL quarterback for the Denver Broncos plus the Arizona Cardinals, where I live in Arizona and they still talk about you there. I like to name drop you all the time, by the way.
Does it help at all?
It really not down in Tucson, in U of A country.
Yeah, well,
I think you said some things about the Wildcats that
they just don't know. I mean, I did probably say some things when I was playing, but I'm an Arizona State Sun Devil. I guess I have to hate U of A, but.
But you don't.
Secretly, I love watching their hoops team play. I mean, who doesn't? They're a great basketball team. I'm a fan of the game. Of course, I don't want them to beat Arizona State when they play, but I like to see them get better.
Can we talk a little bit, since we're on the collegiate sports here, can we talk about Pac-10, 12 football?
Sure.
I was just joking, but Chip Kelly leaves Oregon and goes off to Philly. Let's look at Philadelphia. Are they going to be a good NFL team with Chip Kelly as a quarterback, as a coach?
I don't see why not. I mean, everybody makes such a big deal about the coaches, but it's all about what they're giving their players, and the players, they're more important, I believe. If you get the players to believe in your system and what you're giving them, and people ask about motivating, can Mark Trestman with the Chicago Bears be a good motivator for the players? Listen, if you're making $3.5 million a year, you don't need a coach to get you pumped up. You should be ready to go play as well as you can, and try to have as much fun as you can. I think at one point in my career it got to be so serious of performing to a certain level. The fun in the game is what's really important, and I think Chip Kelly, he keeps it fun. You can see his guys have fun in Oregon. His players were having fun. So if you can get that to transfer over to the NFL, which some coaches struggle going from college to the pros, we'll see what happens.
Talk about having fun. Colin Kaepernick seems like he's having fun. I feel that if you were having the type of fun that Colin Kaepernick was having for, let's say, the San Francisco 49ers, just throwing it out there, or even, the Denver Broncos in the later years there, you would still be in the league right now, wouldn't you?
All these quarterbacks should be having fun. They don't get hit anymore. I mean, basically, unless you take off and try to go get extra 3 or 4 yards, you won't even get hit much anymore.
There's actually a glass bubble around Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, you can't. You better be careful how you hit him.
Now you're a traditional quarterback. I mean, you're a historian. You know what happened in the past, but you're kind of an old school quarterback. But even to you, are you a little annoyed by some of the rules that are going on in the NFL, or do you just look at it and say, hey, I wish I was doing that now? I mean, I wish it was the way I.
Well, it's hard. I go back and forth because I believe that there is a way to make the game safer, but I don't think not allowing your free safety to lay some wood on a receiver to say, hey, don't come back through this zone. That should be allowed if it's legal, if you do it right. Not with the crown of your helmet, but if you hit them with your shoulder pad and they're defenseless, hey, don't come through here defenseless. Because I hung my guys out before back when the rules were different, and it hurts from the quarter. As soon as it leaves your hand, you're just, oh, I hope he's able to get up and walk off the field. But in some regard, it's also good because players get to play longer. The game's going to be safer. If the NFL wants to save the game, they need to insure their former players for life. They just need to pay for their health insurance because there's not a whole lot of them, and they make enough money to cover their former athletes. Me personally, I don't need it, but the guys in the 70s, 60s that now can't walk and are having neurological problems, if they're even still alive, those guys are the ones that need the help. And that, to me, would save the face of the game, not making it less violent because the game is violent, and that's why we watch it.
How many concussions do you think you had? Or is that too controversial?
I never had any concussions. I never was diagnosed with a concussion. I never came off the sideline and they said, hey, you have a concussion. There were times I blacked out on the field and came back right away and had to kind of, whoa, okay, and I knew where I was. My brain was never so groggy or knocked out enough that I didn't know where I was. But yeah, you get head injuries. It's a rough sport, and you know, there's no way to avoid that. When you're giving them a helmet and shoulder pads and you're making them bigger and faster and stronger, even when 12 and 13-year-olds now are getting bigger, faster, and stronger, you're not going to take the violence out of the game. Stop trying, I think.
No, I think you're right. One thing you could do is just do what Randy Moss did in the Super Bowl and just don't jump.
Yeah, just let the ball go fly right over your head to the defensive guy. Yeah,
I mean, you could do that. That's how
possibly.
You can. I mean, he's protecting that season that he won't have next year in the NFL because of that not jumping.
Well,
I'm not trying to get you to say anything.
He's a great receiver. He makes amazing plays, but I've seen him watch a running back run right by him and not block the guy that tackles him. So as a teammate, you take Randy with the good and you have to put up with the bad. And sometimes, like his last career, little bit of his career here, I think there wasn't as much good as there was bad. But hey, he's his own guy.
Well, we have some guys in Minnesota right now watching this live broadcast right now, and they've got their 84 jerseys on back home.
Oh yeah.
Everybody one clap. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. We're gonna say goodbye for now. Jake Plummer, former NFL star, retired early to play handball, and then you got a couple injuries from the past that you just wanted to mend up. Do you think? And I don't want to say, I don't want to, make sure that New York Times or Sports Illustrated calls us and tries to verify this, but do you think that if this last hip surgery didn't happen and you were able to get in top shape, that you would think about throwing a football again?
I would think about it until the thought got down to my first cervical vertebrae right here, and then I'd shudder and go, oh, no way.
So that's it. That closes the door on that conversation.
Oh, yeah.
But you think you could do it, though?
If they keep dumbing down the violence and letting the quarterbacks have all free reign, then
maybe so?
Maybe. But
so the door just opened a little bit.
I don't think I would train hard enough. I don't want to train hard enough. It takes intense training, 5-6 hours a day for a year. I'd have to train. And
but didn't you feel a little bit there for about a year or two after Steve Young retired that you're like, he could still play, or even Brett Favre, he can still technically play in the league. Do you still think that you can technically play in the league if you got into, if somebody put?
I don't think I could get in good enough shape to play in the league. Just to be honest with you, I wouldn't want to get in that shape again. I wouldn't want to lift weights and put weight on my frame. I've changed the way my frame is now. I need to drop some pounds so that my body can play some handball someday.
Right.
I don't know. Pro football, no. Pro handball, no. But get to play with the pro in a doubles game, yeah. Cool.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Thanks for stopping by the booth.
No, thank you, Dave.
Jake Plummer, we're going to be back for the youth clinic coming up right around the corner. You stick with us here as we broadcast live at racefor8.com.